Hey there, movie fans. It is time for a brand new FYC with the amazing Perri Nemiroff and the mighty Jeff Snyder. We are going to be coming in hot from now until the Academy Awards on March 10th, 2024. That's a whole lot of episodes of FYC, but wait, there's more because, we still have to finish up the Emmy stuff because the Emmys are happening in January. But that just means more fun for us, more fun for you, more fun for everybody. On this week's episode of FYC, we're going to dive into our predictions for Best Actress nominations. Who will take those 5 nominations and who could kind of disrupt things? Well, that's what this is all about. So, Perri, let's just jump right into who is your number one choice. A shoo-in, and maybe even a possible win for Best Actress.
My number one is one of the performances I'm most excited to see. And I'm so glad once I get back to LA, I guess I will have seen a whole bunch of movies by the time this episode of FYC actually airs. But this one I'm going to see really, really soon. I got a good feeling about it. It is Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Okay. Emma Stone for Poor Things. Sight unseen.
I have faith. I have faith in her and Yorgos, and I have faith in their collaboration together.
Okay, Jeff, where is Emma Stone on your list?
I swear to God, Perri's copying off my list, or we just have a mind meld going, but I too have Emma Stone for Poor Things. Sight unseen. Just parsing through the reviews, it seems, like even if you don't love Poor Things, because it is proving to be a little bit of a divisive movie, people are dazzled by what she does in it and just how brave that performance is and how she puts herself out there. So I cannot foresee a future in which she does not get a nomination. She seems like a lock, Scott.
She is definitely a lock. So I'm going to say sight seen twice. I can confirm that, yes, she will absolutely get nominated. I have her on my list at number 3. She is my number 3 choice, which is still pretty damn good. Emma Stone is, of course, an Academy Award winner for La La Land. Now I get to start talking about La La Land again. She was nominated 2 other times for Birdman and The Favorite with Yorgos. Those are for supporting actress, both of those nominations. Absolutely no question. She is absolutely getting nominated. She definitely is a front runner to win. I have her at number 3 because there are 2 other performances I think, are better. But so you have her at number 1. My number 1 is Annette Bening for Nyad. Diana Nyad. Annette Bening has 4 Academy Award nominations, all for Best Actress for The Grifters, American Beauty, Being Julia, and The Kids Are All Right. I feel like, fortunately, there's no movies this year from Hilary Swank because she lost Best Actress twice to Hilary Swank. But I think this is she's overdue. This is an absolutely worthy performance. She is beloved in the industry. She's beloved in the Academy. And I just think after all this time for her to not have an Academy Award, I think she's going to win her first before Emma Stone wins her second. That's my prediction. Do either of you have Annette Bening on your list? No? Neither of you?
Jeff does.
Oh, Jeff does. Okay, Jeff. Where is Annette Bening on your list?
I got your back, Scott. So listen, I would want nothing more than for Annette Bening to win the Oscar this year. Yeah. My only reluctance in terms of putting her at the number 1 spot is that, she's been nominated all these times before, and it's like they refuse to give it to her. Now, I think at this time, the performance actually merits it. I think she's dynamite in Nyad, and it's an incredibly physical role. I mean, this is a very demanding.
Absolutely agree. Yes, it is.
So I do have her on the top 5, but I have her at number 4.
Jesus,
and I hope that she climbs the ranks, But as of now, I have to put her at 4.
Listen, you think that no, she's been nominated all these times and she's not getting it. That's why I think that they're going to be like, this is it. I mean, they're going to watch this movie. They're going to look at this performance, which, like you pointed out, is an extremely demanding physical performance. I mean, what she must have done to train and to get prepared to play that role. Which that's her in the water swimming, and I certainly felt the anguish as she's trying to do this thing, swimming from Cuba to the Keys.
Man,
But
I really feel like she stands in for like the older Academy voter who feels like discarded by this industry. I mean, I just love that, there's a 6-year-old woman who's like, I can do something that no one else can do. And they want me to go away because they say I'm too old or whatever. And I refuse to. And there's something so empowering about that. And she does have the personal narrative as well. I'm firmly Team Bening this season. I want to be in, with you in your corner, but I have to put Emma Stone, above her right now.
Look, what Academy voter is not going to be taken with that? You're never too old to realize your dreams, and age is just a number. And Naiad is a feel good crowd pleaser all the way. Where certainly critics love, Poor Things, but it might be a little divisive. So that's another reason why I'm leaning towards Annette Bening over Emma Stone. But Annette Bening at number 1. I have Emma Stone at number 3. Perri, who is your number 2?
I'll say I have a feeling that my number 5 will wind up getting bumped off the list for Annette Bening, and I'm okay with that. But first, my number 2 is a movie I've had highly ranked in all of my categories. Proven entity in every respect. Margot Robbie is getting a Best Actress nomination for playing Barbie. It's going to happen. I feel it with certainty. I think her chances of winning are probably lower down than maybe one or the other that I still have left on my list when it comes to predicting winners. But I still feel like her nomination is a sure thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I have her at number 2 as well, Perri, and I feel like her nomination is a slam dunk. I mean, a blind person can see it with a cane, but would she win for Barbie over, like Emma Stone or Annette Bening or maybe one of these other people? That I don't know. But I mean, she's definitely getting, nominated. Jeff, you have Margot Robbie on your list.
No.
Ooh.
Come on, dude.
All right.
Come on.
I'm making a huge mistake, but I feel like I had to choose, like, who's going to get the nomination, Greta Gerwig or Margot Robbie? Like, who's more likely to get a nomination?
We're both going to get nominated.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be one or the other.
I think that there's a lot of great female performances this year. I think it's a deep year, and I just don't know if the actors branch is actually going to, she played Barbie. Like, I mean, first of all, Ryan Gosling.
Over $1 billion, and she's also a producer on the movie.
No. Okay, box office matters when we're talking Best Picture and when we're talking Best Director. I don't think it matters when it comes to Best.
Box office also matters because it's reflective of how enthusiastic the large majority of people are for a movie, and it also represents the fact that more of the voting body has likely not only seen it once, but probably seen it more than once.
And that's great to see it as many times as you want. It doesn't make the performance any better. She gets upstaged in her own movie by Ryan Gosling. That's not up for debate. That's not up for debate.
Hard disagree on that.
Hard disagree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Margot Robbie is absolutely getting nominated. And look, box office last year certainly proved to be a nomination for Top Gun Maverick as Best Picture, but not for Joe Kosinski as Best
Tom
Director.
Tom didn't get in.
Here's what I'm saying.
When we did,
Tom didn't campaign. I bet you anything when they start like hardcore campaigning for Barbie, Margot Robbie will be heavily pushed for Best Actress.
She's going to be everywhere.
She's going to work it too.
Let me ask you another thing.
Okay.
She's going to be nominated for Best Picture. Will the Academy feel like, well, we already took care of her because she's already getting a nomination?
No, they're going to do both.
No. She gets nominated for Best Actress, Jeff.
Here's all I'll say. I have Margot Robbie at 6 right now. So just on the outside looking in, I gave the edge to someone else because we took a lot of heat in our last episode for Best Directors that we left off an international contender. And I do think that in this category, that international contender could rear her head.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us who that international contender is, as if we didn't already know?
I mean, at number 5, I went with Sandra Hüller over Margot Robbie for Anatomy of a Fall. Again, this is a movie that is not eligible for the international Oscar. People think it's going to get a Best Picture nomination. I don't really see that happening, but I think that Sandra Hüller does exceptional work in that film, and if the movie is recognized, it is going to be her.
I think that Sandra Huller gets in. I have Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall at number 4. I thought her performance in this movie was breathtaking and magnificent. And she's also in the movie that you hate, but everyone else loves, The Zone of Interest, which could get a Best Picture nomination as well, Jeff.
No.
Terry, do you have Sandra Huller on your list?
I don't, but admittedly,
Wow.
she is one of 3 that I had in contention for my number 5 spot. So you could basically consider her 6 or 7 on my list.
So who's your number 3, Perry?
I'm so fast. Wait a second. Right now, we all have Emma Stone.
Yeah.
2 of us have Annette. 2 of us have Sandra, and 2 of you have Margot. So that's 4 people. There's
Right.
2 huge actresses we haven't talked about. So I can't wait to see who doesn't make this FYC cut.
All right, Perry, who's next on your list that we didn't get to yet?
Sight unseen for me because I have to get back to LA. My number 3 is someone from Killers of the Flower Moon who seems to be getting the large majority of the award season love right now. It's Lily Gladstone. The first thing that I saw when those reactions started pouring out, it wasn't like, oh my God, Martin Scorsese, he's going to get a nomination. He should get a nomination, or any enthusiasm for the rest of the cast. All I saw was her name absolutely everywhere. And
Yeah.
now when I do go back to LA and see the movie, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is seeing her work in it.
Well, you have 2 people here who did see her work in it. Jeff, why don't you go first? Does Lily Gladstone get nominated for lead actress, or are they is she up for lead actress? Because I
Yeah.
don't see a lead actress performance there. I see it as a supporting performance.
I think you could definitely get away with both because there's no clear protagonists or perspective in Killers of the Flower Moon, which I just got out of an hour ago and was thoroughly underwhelmed by as an awards contender. That said, I do think that Lily Gladstone did enough to be nominated. And I do think that you could make an argument that she's a lead. And so I do have her at my number 3.
Hey.
Okay, I have Lily in my honorable mention because even though she is, being talked about as lead actress, I saw the film twice and I see that as a supporting performance. And I thought her performance was solid, but she did not rock my world. It was not like Sandra Huller, who I'd never seen before, but like knocked my socks off in Anatomy of a Fall. The power of Sandra Huller's performance is way, way, way stronger than Lily Gladstone's seemingly supportive performance in Killers of the Flower Moon. But if she is being touted and promoted and being out there officially as a lead actress contender, then I mean, look, I can't argue with sort of the temperature in the room with that. And being a Native American, that would certainly be a history-making achievement for her to be nominated in that way. And I don't think that is something that we should overlook. The Academy certainly in recent years has taken opportunity to make history, and they could do that with Lily Gladstone. So we kind of have, go ahead, Jeff.
I think you're wrong. I think Lily Gladstone doesn't break into big speechifying or monologues or anything.
No, she doesn't.
It's a quiet performance, but it registers, and it registers in the eyes. It's all over her face. I don't see her missing out on a nomination.
I cannot disagree with you. I just thought from everything I heard about her performance when I went in to see the film, I was waiting for like a moment or two where I went, oh my God, there's her FYC clip. And I didn't get that. I thought that she was solid. She was strong. She held her own, especially in the scenes that she has with Leo, which is like almost all of them. But I thought there are stronger performances here. By the way, that's our 5. Only one of our 5 is a unanimous decision here. That's Emma Stone.
I have 2 more left.
Yeah,
okay.
wait. I still have my number 2.
Okay, who's your number 2, Jeff?
Carrie Mulligan and Maestro. We haven't even talked about.
Yeah, I have Carrie Mulligan at number 5.
This is the only other one that we're going to have a full match on. She's my number 4.
Okay. Did you both see Maestro yet? No. Jeff? Okay, no. I saw Maestro. I think she gets in. I have her on my list. And that's another unanimous. So that makes her a sure thing. Perri, who else?
All right, so this is the one where I was choosing, and I went with my heart because it felt like they were somewhat on even playing field. My number 5 is me hoping that Greta Lee pulls ahead of some of the pack and winds up getting the 5th slot. I know it's a little bit of a long shot, but just because that 5 spot seems so like messy scattershot crapshoot to me right now, I am using my gold derby slot to like push her name into the conversation because I think she deserves to be here.
I agree. I have Greta Lee on my honorable mention, but I just think that I think if the movie gets nominated and it gets nominated for screenplay, then if it got nominated for director for Celine Song, I'd be
Mhm.
happily surprised. Jeff, what do you think of Greta Lee for Past Lives? Is she on your list?
I thought she was really good. I have her in my honorable mentions at number 10,
Yeah.
but I don't think she's sniffing a nomination this year,
All right,
unfortunately.
Perry. Is there anyone else on your list, Perry, that we haven't gotten to?
Like
Your
I
five.
have my eye on Fantasia just because people are lightly talking about her before anyone sees The Color Purple, but I'm not ready to push for someone where I haven't seen the movie, and the movie at least feels like a little more of an unknown entity than something else that I haven't seen, like let's say Maestro, where there's more information about it. So
Right.
I'm not going to push for her, but of everybody we've talked about thus far, if I'm going to bump Greta Lee off my list, I am most willing to put Annette Bening on the list.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I like the sound of that. Jeff, what about you? Anybody on your list we haven't gotten to yet? Your top five.
Yeah, we did my 5. There, I just have some honorable mentions in 7, 8, 9. But
All right. Can I just say one of my number one honorable mention here is Natalie Portman for May December. I thought she was fantastic in that. That is a film that was rushed into production with very little rehearsal time for Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore, written and directed by Todd Haynes. And I think it's Natalie Portman's best performance since she won the Academy Award for Black Swan for 2010. She's my number one honorable mention. But with some of these other 2 out of 3s that we got on our list here, don't know if I would fight for her over some of the other ones who I really want to fight for. Someone else who I really thought gave a superb performance, but maybe the movie is too indie, is Phoebe Dynevor for Fair Play. She was fantastic. Dynevor, yeah. Is that how you say her name?
I think it's Dynevor.
Dynevor. Okay, Dynevor. Phoebe Dynevor for Fair Play. Perry, what do you think?
I mean, possibly. I think if she is on my list, it's not like the next tier, but maybe the next tier. Can I shout out 2 other people who
Yeah.
are probably like they don't really have a chance, but they're some of my favorite performances of the year. And I mean, maybe some could get award season talk, but in other shows. One is I love Tiana Taylor in 1001. I thought that movie was phenomenal, and that is
Yeah.
one heck of
Great movie.
a first lead performance. I really couldn't get over how damn good she was in that. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's something. Is that like Independent Spirit Award
Spirit Awards
eligible?
all the way, baby. Yeah.
Another name I think we're gonna see pop up at the Spirit Awards is Trace Lysette for Monica, who another one that was just like jaw-droppingly good, emotional, just rocked me to my core in that movie. And I want to see both of them get a little love this award season, even if it's not at the Oscars.
Also, I mean, that's a great one. I think that's definitely a Spirit Awards shoe-in. Kaylee Spaney for Priscilla. I thought she was very, very good in that. Anjing Ellis Taylor for Origin. I'm hearing very good things, sight unseen. I haven't seen that one. Maybe just because this is in the news right now, Helen Mirren as Golda Meir for, Golda. I mean, I don't think a lot of people saw that movie, but, it is in the news. So who knows? But any other,
I mean, I've heard good things about Jodie Comer and the Bike Riders.
yeah, no, good,
Really
yeah, good. But all right,
here's the
ahead.
big question. Did either of you see Memory at Toronto?
No.
No.
I mean, Memory was absolutely fantastic. And so my question was just like, if a distributor picked up Memory, do you hold it for next year? Or do you think, okay, I can actually get Jessica Chastain a nomination in this field this year? I know you haven't seen the performance, so it's tough to
Yeah.
say.
I mean, just gauging the calendar at this point, I would say hold, because like we talked about this, I think in the last 2 episodes, it seems like a pretty stacked year. There's a lot of titles and names that we're all juggling right now. I feel like it might be a bad idea to throw something else in the mix.
Okay.
All right, listen, I think clearly Margot Robbie and Carey Mulligan are unanimous. The three of us.
And Emma
No,
Stone. I didn't have Margot Robbie unanimous.
Yeah.
I
Right,
have
Emma Stone. Emma
but
Stone.
we had Margot pretty high up.
Okay, but wait. So Emma Stone and Carey Mulligan for sure.
Definite.
And Jeff and I have Annette, and Perri, you were, kind of leaning towards that. I think Annette gets in. I would.
We're in.
Yeah, she's absolutely in. All right, so then that leaves, let's see, Lily Gladstone.
Sandra, Margot, and Lily, and there's two spots.
Well, there's Margot, Sandra Huller, and Lily Gladstone.
I will change my whatever, and I will grant you Margot gets in.
Margot is getting in.
So is Lily.
Getting in.
Skeptical, but okay.
So that leaves
Margot
Robbie is absolutely
aside, leave the phenomenon aside, based strictly on performance. I'm not sure
that's not how it works, Jeff. If we were sitting here and doing the FYC awards, and we were saying between the three of us, we vote for our favorites based on the quality of the performance, that's one thing. There are so many factors that are in play when it comes to campaigning and ultimately getting an Oscar nomination. You have to consider those things.
Lily Gladstone has the backing of Scorsese and DiCaprio and Apple behind her, and Sandra Huller has been doing a great job thus far. She's been on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter.
It all matters. It matters.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that has to happen is that the SAG, the actors and the studios have to come to a deal and end the actor strike, because Annette Bening has to be out there. Margot Robbie, right after right before Barbie opened, the strike happened. So, Barbie took the world by storm, and Margot Robbie hasn't been able to say anything about it, which is a crying shame. Go ahead.
Man, that's a great thing to bring up that we haven't, is now that the negotiations aren't continuing, that could completely change this whole field. If there is no campaigning by the actual actor, some of my predictions might change. I mean,
Absolutely.
I think in that case, Margot Robbie and Warner Brothers skyrockets to close to the top of the list. I still think Emma Stone is in play.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do think even with Apple behind her and being in a Martin Scorsese film, I think Lily Gladstone's chances might dip a little because she's an unknown entity. Carey Mulligan is still in play. She's got Netflix behind her too. And then I think you're probably talking about Annette Bening because she's Annette Bening. It completely changes the game.
But I mean, Annette Bening, I think, gets in for a nomination, and I think that she deserves to win. She's overdue for a win for a first time to win an Academy Award. But like I said this when I was up at Telluride and I saw the film at Telluride, and I was really, really taken away by Naiad, thinking like, this is the movie that is finally going to win Annette Bening her first Academy Award, but she needs to be out there doing talk shows, doing interviews, doing FIC Q&As. She needs to be doing that.
That needs campaigning more than almost any other movie or performance we've talked about.
Yeah. So look, that's a legitimate thing.
What we're talking about then today is taking Sandra off the list, right?
I'm willing to take Greta Lee off the list for either Sandra or Annette.
Yeah, we chose for you. We chose Annette.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I'm.
We're deciding between Sandra or Lily, really. If Margot's in,
is Sandra or Lily?
Yes, that's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to. Sandra Huller for Anatomy of the Fall, or Lily Gladstone for Killer.
I lean towards Lily.
Yes.
You think you're leaning towards Lily? Okay. Well, for this conversation, I mean, look, Jeff, you just saw Killers of the Flower Moon, and you still think that Lily Gladstone gets in.
I think she did enough. I think she did more than Sandra Huller. Yeah.
See, I don't agree. I think that Sandra Huller did way more than Lily Gladstone. And there are long stretches of Flower Moon and I mean long stretches because the movie's 3.5 friggin' hours, where Lily is not in the film. And, Sandra Hüller is Anatomy of a Fall. I mean,
Anatomy of Fall was a little disappointing.
I don't agree. I think Anatomy of a Fall is one of the best freaking movies of the year. And I mean, I liked Killers of the Flower Moon more than you did, but I liked Anatomy of a Fall more than Killers of the Flower Moon. And I thought that Sandra Hüller, if I had to choose just with absolutely nothing else but the merits of their performances, if you are making me choose between Sandra Hüller or Lily Gladstone, I would choose Sandra Hüller. But because of other factors, because like you point out, she's in a Martin Scorsese movie and everyone else is like singing her praises.
She's Native American.
What? Yes.
She's
Native
American. So she's got that.
That's what I said before is that, the Academy could see this as a way to kind of make some history here by nominating the first Native American for lead actress. So
he's going to get nominated over the German woman.
He's going to get Okay, fine. I agree. Lily Gladstone it is. There's our list. Wow, this was a hell of a conversation. Oh, man. All right, so here we go. We have Emma Stone, Carey Mulligan, Annette Bening, Margot Robbie, and Lily Gladstone. Those are the 5 for now. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say this, but maybe our picks will change when we come back to our best actress predictions later this year. Maybe these picks will change after we see some of the other films, like The Color Purple. I haven't seen Origin yet, but maybe they'll change when the actors and actresses can get back out there and campaign. A lot of ifs. We'll have to wait and see, Jeff.
So with our 5, you and I are sort of mourning Sandra Hüller that there's not 6 nominees.
Correct.
And Perri is bummed that Greta didn't make the cut, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. The one thing I wanted to add about, Margot and Barbie is don't be surprised if that movie gets a re-release. Don't be surprised.
If Barbie gets a re-release?
Yes.
I could absolutely see that happening.
I think Oppenheimer. I think Barbie and Oppenheimer could return to theaters in January.
I see absolutely Universal getting way behind Oppenheimer. I mean, they certainly have the money to do so after the movie made almost $1 billion worldwide. But they need to bring both of those movies back to the consciousness because they both did really well and they were part of a phenomenon, just like Taylor Swift is part of the phenomenon. But they do need to bring those movies back and remind people, hey, remember these 2 films that took the world by storm in the summer of 2023? But those are our 5 nominations. Let us know what you think of our nominations. Make sure you comment below. And while you are down there commenting, and let's see those comments because we love to read them, make sure you subscribe to Perri Nemiroff's YouTube channel so you can be the first to know when FYC drops and all of Perri's other content. Make sure you share FYC on your social media platforms so everyone will be in the know with the greatest award season show on the face of the earth in this galaxy and the great beyond. So join us next week for a brand new episode of FYC. And until then, FY, see you later.
See you later.